this is Fred from Profile, and today I'm talking with Jonas from the great metal band KATATONIA, who sure don't need much introduction. How are you doing, Jonas?
I'm good, thank you very much.
Awesome. The new album, City Burials, which I had the opportunity to enjoy in order to prepare for the interview, is already my personal favorite, I'm telling you. It will be released on April 14th. First, congratulations for such longevity. Your first album is dated back in 1993, something you sure can be proud, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think any one of us expected to keep doing this for such a long time, and also actually building a career of it. So we're very proud of what we have achieved so far.
Great, great stuff. Talking about the new album, can you tell us a little bit more about the theme or the concept behind the story, if any?
It's not a concept album, but it's basically dealing with subjects that we always touch on every album that we have, I think, which is made to go hand in hand with the music, and it's short stories of loss and remorse and basically like everyday struggles, but in a maybe a more beautiful way. So it's basically the same that we always do, but we always try, of course, to sort of reinvent ourselves a little, and I think we've done it with every album until now. So it's yeah.
Did you guys try anything differently while making this album? Like, if you compare to the rest of the discography, like, how does it actually stack up with the previous albums?
Not really. I think we have a formula that we're very comfortable with, a way of working in terms of songwriting, and also the recording process is pretty much the same. I think for this album we used a different mixer that we haven't worked with before, Jakob Hansen from Denmark, and it proved to be a very uh, fruitful cooperation. I think the sound on the album is beautiful, and it's very suitable for what we're doing on this record. So I think that's the main difference. But other than that, we just keep on doing. We stick to our process that we have that we feel comfortable with.
Okay. So this is your 11th studio album. You said you didn't really imagine back in 1993 that you'd still be making albums today. Can you explain why?
No, but I think when you're a kid, I mean, we started this band when we were, I think, 16 years old or something. And um, when you're in that age, you don't have really a future plan or even visions or hopes for a future. I think you live more day by day.
Yeah.
And especially music, we were absolute amateurs, beginners in the beginning. And I don't think we would ever imagine that we would do this professionally. We only wanted to start a band because we liked that kind of music so much, and we wanted to be part of the scene. So if someone would come and tell the younger me that I would be doing this 30 years later, I would be
Yeah.
you know think that we're crazy or something.
Yeah, I totally get it. We all know that your music has changed drastically since the first few albums. If you could turn the clock back, would you still do these albums, or would you do differently?
No, I would do them exactly the same,
Great.
because I think what we did back then is a foundation on which we have built everything from then up until now. So I wouldn't want to change anything, because I think that our progression and the whole process of becoming what we are now, we owe to the old stuff. And I think they're part of our discography, and I'm really proud of them, even though it's very different from what we're doing now.
Yeah. Would you say that your fans are different? I mean, from yeah, the fans from the first few albums compared to today's fans.
Yeah, it's a bit different, I would say, but also we have more fans today, so it's kind of hard to compare Also, I think we have a lot of fans today that has been with us since the beginning because they have aged at the same pace as we have done, and they're probably in the same age as us now. So they've
Yeah.
had a similar progression in their musical, you know, taste, basically. So I would say it's mainly different, but there are still some old people in our age listening to Katatonia today.
Yeah, beautiful. About the writing process, is it hard to find like a team or find something to write about after nearly 29 years of making music?
I don't think so because we're so determined on our style. And I mean, it gets a little bit repetitive when you do the same stuff over and over. It feels like that sometimes, at least. And but to me, it's like it's something that I have to do, and it suits me well as a person. So I don't have a big problem with it. Of course, sometimes you might write a lyric or something and you realize that you just had a you wrote a line that you have used before or something, but it's not really hard to find the right themes because the music is also very uh, it's it varies a lot, and you can find different themes in different kinds of colors in the music as well, so it's not a big issue, I think.
Roger. My understanding is that you wrote yourself most of the music and the lyrics for City Burials.
Yeah, I did. We usually have a team effort between me and Anders, the guitar player. But he's been suffering from writer's block from time to time, and for this album, he didn't really have any ideas uh, to let them manifest into songs. But I think he was pretty happy that I was, at the writing helm, and he was constantly listening to my ideas, and he had some opinions and stuff. So it's still a cooperation, but I did write all of the music myself, which is, it's sometimes a bit lonely, but it's also very rewarding once you're finished with a product.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you say that the City Burials is Catatonia's most progressive album to date?
I don't know. I think maybe the previous album, The Fall of Hearts, was a little bit more progressive if you want to see it in a very musical way. But I think all our albums have been progressive in terms of trying to move forward and trying to try new things within the frame of what we can do with our music. So, but I think musically the previous one was a little bit more complex and um, basically progressive. If you mean like in a prog metal way.
Okay. So again, talking about like heavy metal, progressive metal, do you guys feel you fall into a particular music genre? And if so, like what would it be?
I don't think that anymore because I mean we've been tagged with a lot of genres throughout our career, and some of them I agree with, and but these days I don't really feel that we belong to a certain genre because we try to be very eclectic, and our music is ranging from the pure metal stuff to some more electronic and some progressive parts. So I don't know, man. It's hard to. Uh, it's not something that I think too much about either.
Okay.
So, but we're basically a metal band
Yeah,
that has bits and pieces of everything in there, pretty much.
I totally agree. Yeah. You've been touring a lot through the years and took a well-deserved break after the last tour was over. I understand this is not the right time to talk about traveling, but are you aiming for a large tour later this year to promote the new album?
Yeah, definitely. As long as we can do it, if the society will allow it. But we hope to start the real touring for the album in the fall, and then keep doing it until we've covered pretty much the places that we want to go to.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, in these times it's hard to predict what's going to happen exactly when. But that's the plan at least.
Okay. If there was one thing you still haven't done as a band and wish you could, what would it be?
Something that we talk about from time to time is that we've never played in Japan, and I would love to go there. It's one of the, bucket list things for us as a band. We've been pretty much all over the world, but never really got a chance to play in Japan, so that would be nice.
Yeah, great. I have a few more questions, Jonas. Just a few more questions, but they only require like a 1 or 2 word answers, and then we're done. First, who's the grumpiest in the band?
Anders,
uh, One word to describe the new album, City Burials.
dark,
Dark, like it. Your personal favorite band?
uh, Red House Painters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What is the last album you've listened to?
Wow. I think. Uh, oh, it must have been today. Hold on. um, I think I was listening to an EP by a British singer-songwriter. He's calling himself Blanco White.
Okay,
Um, so that's the last kind of music that I listened to earlier today.
nice. Are you like personally more into digital CDs or vinyls?
I'm more into digital these days. I've used to be a collector of both vinyls and CDs, but these days I think it's far more convenient to go with the digital stuff.
Okay. Personally, would you prefer a Catatonia festival or Catatonia cruise?
Festival.
Do you recall what was your first poster you hung up in your room when you were young?
Um, it could have been a Venom poster actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but I remember hanging it up, but I hadn't heard their music, but I thought they looked so cool. I wanted it on my wall.
Last one for you, Jonas. Do you recall the first music instrument and that you owned, and what was it?
It was an electric guitar actually that I got from a friend of my dad's, a really old electrical guitar. But I didn't have an amp or anything, but I played it all the time.
Very nice. All right, that's it for me, Jonas. Wish you guys to stay safe on these hard times that we know of. Lots of success with the brand new album, and I hope we'll see you soon in Quebec, Canada.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much, Fred.
Thanks for your time. We appreciate
Yeah,
it.
no problem. Cheers.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.